It is June 1st of 2026, and this is the Court Gallery. Some days in court are just built different. We'll see a probation hearing go completely off the rails when a pregnant defendant decides to argue every single point with the judge. Then a small claims dispute over an engine swap turns into a full-blown shouting match where the judge has to repeatedly tell the plaintiff, calm down. Judge Dad was not happy. And we'll wrap with a defendant who has missed court 12 times, explaining why this time it's going to be different. From failed drug tests to faulty car parts, ladies and gentlemen, it's a packed show you won't want to miss. And it all starts right now.
Okay, so we're recalling case numbers 25S00943OM and 25S01055OM, which are both people of the city of Southfield versus Naylene Hart.
On behalf of the city.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sylvia Starr, on behalf of Ms. Hart. Ms. Hart, state your name for me, please.
Naylene Hart.
Okay, Ms. Harp, we're here now for the probation violation matters. In both cases, you have resisting obstructing the police on case ending in 943, and in 1055, that is a domestic violence. And so maximum penalty on each one could be up to 90 days and 93 days respectively. You have a full right to have a violation hearing in each case. And at that hearing, the burden of proving a violation would be upon the prosecutor for the city here, and they would have to prove it by what we call the preponderance of the evidence, meaning more likely than not. If you have a balanced scale, you'd have to tip that scale 51 to 49%, just a little bit, to convince me that you're in violation in the matter being claimed by the probation department. So if you're found guilty after a hearing, or if you choose to waive that hearing to plead guilty, that is when the potential penalty comes into place. So you understand that. All right. So the violation in both cases dates back to May 13th, 2026. And it is that you tested positive for cocaine and failed to refrain from the use of marijuana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how would you like to proceed, Mr. Starr?
Your Honor, we would like to plead guilty to those.
All right. That's right, Ms. Hart.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And also you have a count on the case with the resistance obstructing. You also have 2 counts of that, just so you know.
Yes.
All right. All right. So anybody force or threaten you to make you give up your right to have a hearing?
No, ma'am.
And there's also another count of resisting obstructing with the domestic violence as well. You know that too?
From Southfield?
Yes, it's with the domestic violence.
Okay, can you tell me?
It's the same case number, same date as the domestic violence.
Still another officer, I got it.
All right. So just want to make sure you know you got basically 4 different counts here. So anybody force or threaten you to make you give up your right to the hearing?
No, ma'am.
You've been promised anything?
No, ma'am.
And you're waiving those rights freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So it is true then that you apparently tested positive for cocaine and failed to refrain from using marijuana. Apparently you tested positive May 6, 2026 for cocaine.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Right.
All right. Then sufficient basis for her plea. And I will accept it, finding that it is freely, understandably, voluntarily, accurately, and knowingly made. Okay. So probation says here, defendant refused to meet prior to hearing. She's recommended a $100 violation free, serve the suspended jail sentence that she originally had, and terminate the probation and refer her to collections.
Yeah, sure.
She owes me 30 days, so she's not adding anything.
Yeah, sure. Honor. So, Ms. Hart informed me about this in terms of what happened with you. She was on some mental health medication. Overall, it was going well. It made her feel dull, but however, it kept her on the straight and narrow. And then she got off that medication, and it asked me to use the cocaine. And
You what?
she's pregnant.
Oh boy, that's a problem for you because yes, ma'am,
What I gotta do? It ain't a problem.
it's a problem.
It ain't a problem.
Yes, it is.
It ain't.
I don't know who you think you're talking
I'm
to.
not talking to you. I'm telling you it's not a problem.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you it's a problem. And if you don't want to know why, then don't listen.
I'm saying because I have a problem.
You got a problem. You got cocaine as a problem. So that's a problem for the baby.
Yeah, I won't struggle with alcohol. That was one mistake.
Okay, ma'am. And that's one mistake too many when you're pregnant. One mistake too many.
You right.
Cocaine can kill you for one mistake.
You right.
You got a long ways to go to clean yourself up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Maybe this baby will do it for you.
Well, the first one did.
Yeah, but then you came off of it and went back. You know, you're supposed to use those opportunities to do whatever you need to do to support yourself to stay clean.
Right. You right. You 100% right, ma'am. Yes, you are.
So why can't you do it?
Because I'm trying and I'll keep trying. So I'm sorry I failed. But after this, whatever you give me, I'm going to keep trying.
Well,
so thank you.
You should keep
I'm
trying.
going to keep trying. You hear me?
Well, why are you hollering? What is wrong with you?
Mental health issues. Did you not hear him when he told you that, yo?
Ma'am, I'm not going to stand up here and be subjected to. Okay. All right. Okay. Alrighty. So she don't care. I don't care either. So it's just the bottom line. She's ready to go. She says she is. So the last sentence that she had was 72 days.
Yep.
Credit for 42,
Yep.
which would leave 30. You know, ma'am, you could call me every name you think you want to.
Up, yo. Please stop talking to me. Just sentence me, yo, so I can go behind there and get out your face, yo.
You know what? You don't tell me what to do. You can act like a child if you want to. That don't bother me. You just look stupid for doing that.
So he's gonna take it back.
Thank you.
No. You leave her here till I sentence
Oh,
her.
I'm sorry. You just said to go. I didn't want to disrespect nobody else, yo.
No, it's not your fault. I have not sentenced her, and she needs to stay here until she is sentenced. Man, what happens? It's concurrent. Okay, so let's do. Okay. Sentence of the court. And all of these matters is 48 days, no credit, terminate the probation. She'll pay the fines and costs due on each matter, which is $1,555 on the one case with the resisting obstructing, and it is $2,035 on the other case. We'll refer her to collections for that when she gets out.
That's at least 35 to 4,000 that I owe you guys for both of those.
Maybe, but we'll give you as much time as you need on her payment arrangement to get that paid. So,
Thank you.
all right. So good luck, and I hope that you get clean and stay clean.
40, 45.
48.
Thank you.
Okay, and so Miss Fino will stay on if she never shows up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that completes your docket.
Have a good day.
Case number 26-0662. Yeah, case. Appearances, please.
David Denton on behalf of the people. Robert Champion appearing on behalf of Mr. Davidson.
being brought over jail with his family.
All right, thank you very much. Also before the court this morning is Ms. Laura Odell. She's the agent from the Department of Corrections who has prepared today's pre-sentence investigation report. We're going to wait here for Mr. Davidson. Before we begin, I'm going to acknowledge that I have received a victim impact statement. That I've also reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report. Mr. Davis brought here into the courtroom. All right, Mr. Denhout, any amendments, corrections, objections to make the contents of this report?
No, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr. Champion?
We have none, Your Honor.
I don't have any either. Do we, besides the written victim impact statement, which again on the record I've acknowledged having received a review, do we have any further statements to be made?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Allocution and Mr. Champion. Yeah, Mr. Champion, go right.
Yes, Your Honor. So the court's aware, my client has attending completed the substance use disorder group in the Sac County Jail, run by Ms. Blatz in this matter. What's interesting, and when we talk about substance use disorder, we talk about often the possession or use or what leads to it. In this particular case, in talking with Cody, he was working, and why this occurred, he can't tell you. Because when you start using methamphetamine, as he said, you're up for 4 days and your mind stops working. And that's what occurred in this matter. He's very apologetic for what occurred in this matter. He is taking responsibility in this case. He still has a job available for him when he is released from jail in this matter. I would ask the court to follow the recommendation with a term of probation and give a sentence of 300 days in this particular case. That would allow my client to be punished for what occurred in this matter and allow him to continue with his treatment in the jail, which he is continuing, and also hold him accountable. With that, I would ask for it to follow the recommendation.
Thank you. Mr. Down.
First of all, I'll accept through counsel what the defendant has indicated, that substance abuse has been driving that, and I think that is accurate. I'd like him to know that there was a statement that he made, there was a recording, and he indicated to a friend of his that, you know why I go there. And I want him to know that Friends Ministry, there certainly was not a lack of knowledge or a lack or weakness on their part. The camera that was up, that was not the first thing that it was up. But this was a situation where there was a break-in and an item that was not even for sale, a drill that was taken. Friends Ministry is an organization that is one of the leading nonprofit in Missaukee County and other counties. Certainly, and I think the defendant probably knows this, they would probably give, any one of the people there would probably give his shirt off their back to help him. The court can see the statement that the representative Friends Ministry submitted, that even all of this background, they're still offering to allow him to do community service at Friends Ministry. They're supporting the recommendation of a jail sentence. Quite frankly, I believe that prison is appropriate, but that's what the victim is asking for. So I'm here, just in to some extent, advocating on behalf of the victim as well. But certainly from a community standpoint, I think that a prison sentence is appropriate. We would certainly ask for restitution to be ordered in the amount of $2,617.45. And with that, we'll leave the remaining sentence or the sentence to the court here.
Thank you. Mr. Davidson, you have the right to make a statement if you choose to do so. Anything you wish to say at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm sorry for my I'm sorry for the crimes that I committed to the community, and I'm grateful that they're willing to let me do community service to help for my crimes. I currently still have a job that I can go to after I get done with jail so that I can pay on my stuff. And I should have just, I should have kept doing good and not have gotten back on drugs. And
Yeah.
I understand that, and so I just want to know that I really am sorry.
Well, I accept that and believe that you are sorry, and that's good. You should be. You're 34 years of age, and you were already facing a fourth habitual felony offender enhancement. Could have sent you into a potential life type sentence. Going through this PSI, you've been using marijuana since you were 14. That has not helped you. No, I'm not even surprised anymore when I see defendants who are here before me and they've either started using alcohol and or marijuana at young ages. And that might be a big reason why you're here. You've been using it for 20 years. Now, when I look at your criminal history here, began in 2015. It was a minor offense and you got it set aside. It was operating without a motor vehicle without an endorsement and having an unregistered vehicle. Okay. And then you made it about 3.5, 4 months before you picked up driving while your license was not found. So there you knew your license had been revoked or suspended and you decided to violate the law a couple minutes after one case. You made it, but that was set aside, which is an automatic set aside. You made it 11 months or about 11 months until you picked up and began your crime, your stretch of being a thief. Right now, this case was dismissed. Number 3 of 15 was dismissed, but dismissed pursuant to a plea agreement as to number 4 of 15, because you had 4 cases going on. I think it was 4. 1, 2, 3. Take it back, 7 or 8 cases all at the same time. And so while there might be a dismissal, I'll note that they were all dismissed as part of a pretrial agreement. And there was an agreement that you would pay restitution for 3 of 16. So here you were back in 2016. And on October 8th, there's a breaking and entering. October 22nd, there's a breaking and entering with intent. So you pick up you start your pattern. By the way, in case 4 of 15, looks like he had probation violations. So you had to be sentenced for more confinement, and probation had to be extended. And then you were ultimately terminated from probation unsuccessfully. Then on November 1st of 2016, there was another breaking and entering. And yes, for the record, I acknowledge that there was a dismissal, but it's dismissed based upon a plea agreement to some of the other charges. And there was an agreement that he owed restitution and would pay that restitution. Then on November 17th of 2016, there was another larceny. Yes, once again, a dismissal, but yes, also an agreement to pay restitution. On November 17th of that year, there was yet another breaking and entering. And yes, there was a dismissal, but yes, there was an agreement to pay restitution, admitting that he owed the money. November 18th, there was yet another one. Yes, a breaking and entering, but yes, with a dismissal, but yes, also with the restitution to be paid. Therefore, an admission that he owed the money. And number 9 of 15, there was another case. Now, this one did result in a conviction, and it resulted in a conviction of breaking and entering with intent to commit crimes inside. They got 3 years of probation and 10 months. And he was violating probation relatively quickly. And yeah, my pause right there is because underneath it says bench warrant issued on September 25th of 2029. While I do like some sci-fi movies, I'm pretty sure no one has yet invented time travel. But so that's probably a 2019 or 2020, regardless.
2019, Your Honor.
Yeah, regardless, there were some there were more probation violations. In fact, one of those resulted in a conviction in 2019, and that one was for possession of controlled substances. By the way, for entry 9 of 15, that's the case I was just talking about, which is the breaking and entering with the probation exercise. Again, it was 5 months. Now, he picked up a case in 2021, but it was dismissed. So therefore, I can't make any findings about that. 2021, still on probation. I know it says, he had been off of probation for about 6 months. And then he picks up disturbing the peace. Probation was terminated unsuccessfully because you couldn't comply. In fact, you'd only made it a couple months before you violated your probation. And sure enough, you violated it with some controlled substances possession. Then you made it about a year after that, where you picked up some more of the same offenses, which is your favorite, which is breaking into places and stealing. Now, that's this case that we're dealing with here today. By the way, before this case got charged, you picked up and operating a vehicle without insurance, which again, to me, those are kind of a crime of dishonesty, because it means you're out there doing what you think you can do and trying to get away with it. Now, one of the things that I'm really concerned here is when I look in CFJ 284, page 12, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 children and 2 stepchildren. And you haven't had contact with at least one of them, or a couple of them, in several years. When I look at your job history, while there's quite a lot of information in there, I see that it's quite spotty. There are gaps in time, sometimes days or months, but also a couple of them, I think there were about a year or so in gaps in time. You've had 3 stints in rehab, the most recent back in 2023, while they were all outpatient programs. You completed 2 of them at least. 2023 you completed, 2017 you completed, the one in 2020, for some reason you did not. So I don't know what to do. I appreciate Friends Ministries' recommendation. Question now is, do I follow it? Well, you keep doing the same thing. You break and enter and steal from people. You've been given fines and costs. That didn't work. You've been given probation. That didn't work. You've been released on bond. That didn't work. In fact, in this case, your bond was revoked because you tested positive for methamphetamine. Okay. Jail hasn't worked. All that stuff hasn't worked. I think people are tired of you breaking into their places. Has anybody ever broken into your place or stolen? How do you feel when somebody enters your home without permission and starts stealing from you? Yeah. Now imagine Friends Ministry, who's there to help serve people in the community who are in need. You're not only taking from them, you're taking from other people in the community. Miss Odell, does he qualify for boot camp?
I believe he would, Your Honor.
All right. So, because everything else hasn't worked, and by the way, I know there's a new program with boot camp being implemented by the Department of Corrections through probation or parole, but we don't have that yet. Am I correct? Mr. Kennard and I've talked about it. He's going to start making some more recommendations and speaking to the probation officers themselves about potential boot camp. But yes, sir.
It's my understanding that that has been
Yeah.
implemented, so the court can order probation and boot camp together.
I don't remember. I just talked about it on Friday. Court assesses a $68 state minimum fee, $130 crime victims' right fund fee, $2,617.45 in restitution that is payable to Friends Ministry. Now, the question here for the court, I recognize that the guideline range is 10 to 23. That means it's a straddle cell. The court does not need to find reasonable grounds, but does need to be able to explain its sentence. This is not only an instance where the defendant is continuing misconduct, but he continues to violate probation and violate bond, and he's committing the same offenses. So one moment as I do some math in my head. Actually, I said head. I'm going to use a calculator. One moment. What's that for credit? All right. The court also assesses, I'm going to assess a $300 court cost for the handling of this case. Also a $500 fine and a $300 attorney fee. The court places the defendant on a period of probation for 36 months. The court adopts the terms and conditions for that probation that are listed on CFJ 145, pages 2 and 3. I highlight for the defendant that that includes not to possess or use alcoholic beverages or other intoxicants, as well as controlled substances. That includes marijuana. You don't want to test positive.
If I may, Your Honor.
Yep.
I planned on trying to put my CDL to use. So I told Laura that I didn't want to do marijuana anyway.
I hope you don't, but I'm going to make it now because I feel I'm trying to help set you up for success by doing so. All right, find the rest of the terms and conditions are adequate for the file. Therefore, the court adds supervision fees of $30 a month or $60 a month if there's an electronic monitoring. And the court orders that he is to participate in the SAI boot camp program. The court is going to sentence the defendant to 365 days in jail with 201 days of credit. Now, my reasoning is if that should give him 365 minus 60, puts it down to 305, that means it's got 104 days to serve, which is roughly 3 months, and the boot camp program is 3 months. So my objective is to get him into the boot camp program ASAP, which is a 3-month long program, which will take you to the end of the jail sentence. Right? That makes sense, Mr. Bell?
It does, Your Honor.
If there's any issues, you and Mr. Carnard have any questions, please let me know. Now, the reason for the extended period of probation is we need to help Mr. Davidson stop. You have the right to be considered for early release from probation if you're successful at halftime. All fines and costs are due within 56 days, or a 20% penalty can be added. I will not add that penalty as long as you're making payments during your probation, right? So the computer will automatically add a 20% penalty, but I'll forgive it as long as you are making payments. Okay. All right. Now, Mr. Champion is going to bring to you 2 copies of one document. You're going to place your initials on one copy. Doing so neither elects nor waives any rights. It merely acknowledges your receipt of your copy of the document. This document tells you that you have the right to appeal your conviction and sentence, but based upon a plea, instead of filing what's called an application or claim a right to appeal, you can only file an application for leave to appeal. If you choose to file an application for leave to appeal and you want the court to appoint an attorney to assist you, you may complete the bottom half of this document and return to the court within 42 days. If you choose not to appeal, you may simply dispose of your copy of the document. I find that this sentence is reasonable and proportionate based upon all the factors that I have discussed today on the record, including the original charges, this trial agreement, the bond violations, probation violations, and previous efforts for rehabilitation. Anything else today, Ms. Sodell?
No, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr. Denham?
Trying to send him a message. While we're waiting, Mr. Marembe, do you have any information on Kyla Cardi?
Kyla Cardi, she's supposed to be coming on Zoom. I just spoke with her a couple of minutes ago. I don't see her on Zoom. Yeah, she should be coming in court anytime. Just try to reach her.
Okay, how about Ms. Rowe and Ms. Clark? We lost Mr. Holmes now. Oh, that was Mr. Holmes is still there. Do you know anything about Daniel DeGuerre?
I have gone over 3 change of pleas with Mr. DeGear this morning. We are set to resolve 8 of his cases, along with 1 tracking FTC. I do not see him on the logged on yet, Your Honor. I did speak with him this morning. So if I could defer to
Well, you might want to hang on a second. I'm going to stop you because Mr. Holmes, are you on the Zoom call now?
It's like a tray for food. Yeah.
Mr. Holmes. Well, you can go, Ms. Rowe, I'll come back to you. You need to track him down. If he doesn't show up, he'll get warrants on all these.
Your Honor, I think I could call Kadikaya. She seems to have appeared on Zoom. She seems to be on.
This is on for a condition review?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Cardi?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect.
So looks like okay. Where are you?
Where am I? I'm at my grandmother's right now.
Okay. So this is like a pretrial services violation?
Yeah.
So let me hear from, here's what's going to happen here. I'm going to hear from the state. Then I'll hear from Mr. Marembe. And it looks like right now in this case, confirmation is set on July 31st with trial on August 10th and 11th. You have a warrant out of the city of Olympia. Are you aware of that?
I am not.
Well, you are now.
Yep.
And so, yeah, and then I'll tell you when it was issued. That's on a subsequent DUI that was alleged to have occurred on July 7th, or January 7th, excuse me.
Okay, I was like,
You had court on, you were supposed to be here on May 28th with Mr. Rusnak. And apparently you walked, you did not, so a warrant was issued for your arrest.
we addressed this last time. I did not receive notice for that court hearing.
Okay, well, it doesn't look to me like it's been addressed, so the warrant's still outstanding. And so, and also frankly, I'm a little bit concerned about the pretrial services violation. So I'm gonna hear from Ms. Fazio as to where the state wants to go from here, and then I'll hear from Mr. Marembe.
Your Honor, the state is also fairly concerned, just given the subsequent criminal history and this positive UA for cocaine and THC. I understand that. I understand that Scram wouldn't be useful here since that only monitors alcohol. The state isn't sure what regularity UAs are being done, if they're being done weekly or bi-weekly.
I have not gotten an evaluation done, and I'm supposed to get that done this week. I just can't drive myself, and my rights keep flaking on me. So,
right, Mr. Murray, do you know how frequently the UAs are being done?
Yeah, she does them, I think, randomly every 2 weeks.
Well, the state would recommend that if it's every 2 weeks, that we up the frequency of them, since Scram doesn't seem like it would be helpful here.
may I ask a question?
Yes,
If Scram isn't going to be helpful, and I'm going to be starting outpatient, am I going to have to continue having the Scram on and pay for it? Because I've been paying for it out of pocket.
Helpful in the sense that it was these weren't alcohol-based violations.
when was Scram put on? Was that?
I've had it on since January 13th.
Ma'am, I need you to, I'm not talking to you right now,
Oh, sorry.
okay?
I'm not sure, Your
So
Honor.
why wasn't done through friendship where it didn't have to be, but I still need you on camera, ma'am.
I believe Scram was requested on 3/24.
On this case or on the Olympia case?
I know we requested it on our case. My notes don't indicate whether or not it was put on in our case. But I know, hold on. I believe she is on Scram for her Olympia DUI. There was an FTC hearing in the Olympia DUI matter for a potential Scram tamper. I can try and recheck.
Ma'am, where are you headed? I kind of need you stationary there so we can, now I can't understand you because you're muted.
I'm looking for my mother because we're trying to leave my grandmother's house so that I'm not late for work. And I needed to ask her some questions. I didn't realize I had to be stationary.
It looks like she is on
My
Scram.
grandmother's house.
When was that pretrial services violation?
The positive UA was collected on 5/6.
Mr. Marembe?
Yeah, Your Honor, we'll start with, we'll ask that the bench warrant be the warrant be quashed because the.
No, we're not quashing that.
You're not quashing.
First of all, it's a City of Olympia case. It's not a state case. And secondly, given, I'll be blunt with you and Ms. Cardy, I'm a little concerned with how seriously she's taken all this because it doesn't look to me like she's taken it that seriously at all.
Yes, Your Honor, she's determined
So I think I need to hear from, if she was here, she'd probably be going into custody,
Yes,
but she's not here. I guess I need you to explain to me why she shouldn't be.
Your Honor,
Saying things like, what's the big deal? And, Scram isn't any good. I can convert Scram at public expense. I'm not sure why it's not now. And I think the reality of it is she picked up 2 DUIs in a short period of time and now is ingesting other substances within the last month. And again, that's just my impression. So I guess I need you to talk me out of it.
yes, Your Honor, she's really determined to continue with the treatment, and she gave an explanation. We do not know how the substance came to be found in her. And tried to ask her. She doesn't have. She's quite confused on how that came into her US when she was taken. She alluded to something that she was at some party. Maybe she could have, but we will need probably a full try on that. I'll try to
say that again.
I'm trying to get the full depth of how the US, how she got that, and we're trying to get probably an investigation. I'll try to get a full trial on that and how she got in those, how they came into her US. She is also confused on how those were came to be found in her. The substance was found in her US.
So she's saying she's denying everything, like never knowingly consumed cocaine or marijuana?
No, she is not consumed. At least to the best of my knowledge, that's what she's shared with me. She's not consumed that. And she hangs out with a couple of people, and she doesn't know whether that could be the reason, whether she was trying to be drugged or something like that, but she doesn't know anything. She's not, at least shared with me that she has dropped off any organ, and we'll try to get a full investigation of how that happened. But she's really determined to get back to treatment. We're trying to give her an opportunity to continue with that treatment until we get to the bottom of it and get a full trial on it. For now, I would like to ask that she be accorded that opportunity to continue with treatment, so that she
hasn't started treatment, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I can tell, are you in treatment now, ma'am?
I am not. I was supposed to go on Thursday, and my sister never came and got me to go to the evaluation. I don't know if she had car issues or what, but I plan to go tomorrow morning to a walk-in evaluation. It's hard to get around with no vehicle. And the license, I don't have a lot of opportunities for transportation.
Okay, so there's a couple things. On May 13th, that's when Judge Buckley issued a warrant on this case. And then you appeared on May 22nd, and that was when the warrant was quashed on this case. You have a separate warrant out of the city of Olympia when you didn't appear on May 28th, and that warrant's going to stay in place. On this case, I'll adjust conditions of release as follows. Given that you've already appeared on this violation, not going to take you on this not going to take you into after the violation. I'm not going to take you into custody. However, all prior conditions remain. And then I'm going to make you eligible for the pretrial services supervision through friendship diversion. And that can be done at public expense. The warrant that the city of Olympia is still there, and you need to turn yourself in on that. You understand that?
I just don't understand. So it's for me not appearing at court, but I was never given notice of the court date or time or any of it.
In the city of Olympia?
Yeah, I was never given notice for that court date.
Give me a minute. So it looks to me, according to the docket, you were here on April 29th. You were handed notice in court for May 28th and then didn't appear.
I didn't realize that any of the paperwork that I was handed was a notice. I was handed paperwork for substance treatment places and
Well, ma'am, again, because you didn't see it, doesn't mean it wasn't given to you.
Yeah, I'm
And,
saying like I
hang on just a
apologize.
second.
I'm sorry. So how do I go in?
Well,
and
you
out?
need to take care of that warrant then.
I have to go and turn myself into jail?
You have to go, yes, you have to take care of that warrant. You turn yourself in on the warrant, yeah. That's exactly right.
Okay.
It's a no bail warrant, so you can, present yourself to the jail, but, that's no bail, no walk, which means you have to turn yourself in. I mean, you got a lot going on here. And I really think that you don't appreciate the situation you're in here right now.
I do. I don't think you really know me very well to say that about
That's
me.
true. That's probably true. All I'd like to know is, how you conduct yourself, in front of me or, making court dates and that.
This has been a bad interaction. I'm not usually like this. It's because I'm stressed out about the warrant that I had no idea about, the court date that I had no idea about. It's catching me off guard, really. So I'm sorry.
Well, in this case, we're going to reset. Again, you can show are you in communication with your attorney, Mr. Rusnak? You know how to get a hold of him?
Yes, I have his number, but he hasn't been contacting me. I have sent him messages and emails and he hasn't contacted me.
All right. And then Mr. Marembe is the same thing. You've been in contact with him?
I've been in contact with him, yes.
When's the next Wednesday? Confirmation on July 16th. We'll set a pre-trial for, I'm going to tell you when your next court date is going to be.
I'm about to write it down in a calendar.
How about a Wednesday? How about June 24th? We're going to put this on a Wednesday. Your next court date is June 24th, which is a Wednesday.
Okay.
At 10 a.m.
Perfect. Okay.
I want to see that warrant taken care of by then.
Alrighty.
And then you report to the Friendship Diversion Program. Where are you getting your scram? Who are you paying for that?
I pay Friendship Diversion Services.
Okay, well, so on this new document, it now says you're eligible for that at public expense. You don't have to pay for it anymore.
Okay, awesome. So can I get an email of that?
Yeah, it's going to be on the order, on the court order, the judgment sentence. You can print that off the district court website.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
We will see you back here on June 24th at 10 a.m.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're free to go.
Anthony Hall versus Scott Speed Performance and Repair. And then I have a counterclaim with Top Speed Performance and Repair being the counter plaintiff and the counter defendant being Anthony Hall. All right. Your name, sir?
Bobby Kelly, Top Speed Performance.
Bobby Kelly?
Yeah.
Can you spell your name for me, please?
BOBBY KELLY.
Okay. What is your position with them?
In the order.
Were you here on the last occasion?
I was.
And your name?
John Ryden.
Reidner?
Ryden. RGLA.
Okay. What is your position with Top Speed?
Canada shop.
And what is your name, sir?
Let's go.
Anthony Hall? And what is your name, ma'am?
Amber Smith.
And how are you involved in this case?
Yeah, so witness.
All right. Now, I think I had you guys, did they pay you the $150, sir?
We couldn't cash it because the check was written in Tony Hall and the bank wouldn't accept it. And the envelope was wrote Anthony, but the check was Tony.
I went based on what was on his sign-in sheet.
But the envelope said Anthony.
You're telling me go based.
Slow down. Slow down. Let me see it. Did you call him back? When did you get this?
Saturday.
Did you tell him? When did you tell him? You have another.
No, you can't run my government name on there, just like quarterbacking. Don't have those guys. So I was saying on campus. Just not in a game.
Just like I slow down. Whoa. 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 Why'd you make it out to Tony?
So what's on the sign-in sheet?
What sign-in sheet?
This one here, actually, need a copy of it. You can see.
The sign-in sheet with who?
Mr. Hall signed when he dropped his vehicle off the wood.
Let me see. Where'd you take it? What bank?
Fifth Third is my bank that I use.
You did sign your name, Tony Hall.
I served you in my government name with a court document, which would have been which we would have sent a check in the court document name, because you clearly know that's my name because we're going to court. Common sense, how think.
All right. Okay.
Well, let's see.
Hang on. Everybody just calm down. I'm going to hand you back this.
You're welcome to keep that average opposite. That way you can reference it if we need to.
Go call Fifth Third. Find out how we can remedy this.
I would probably have to take that back to Fifth Third. They'll just reverse it and get you $1. That's it. Nothing big. Nothing very good.
That's what you're going to do right now. Okay? Take it back there right now. Come back with the money order made out to Anthony Hall. Okay?
If you want, I can just take that. I'll run to anywhere around and does money orders and I'll do it.
Or you can go get $150 and you can deal with the bank later. Whatever.
That's fine. I got cash on me. So if he's got a 50, I got 200.
You got a 50?
In my truck actually.
Go get your money.
Never mind. He's no loan to me for a month. You got it? Yes.
You got $150?
There's 50.
You got $150 just handed to you? All right, so that covers the cost. Now hand back that money order. All right. Now, we're all done with that. I agreed to pay Top Speed Performance and Repair to swap every component of my 2008 Dodge Charger block motor onto the 2005 motor block. Owner agreed to swap all components. The 2005 motor, meaning the 2008 block should have been empty, meaning heads, water pump, all accessories off 2008 motor. That's what you said. Now, I'm going to tell everybody again, by proceeding in the small claims division, you're giving up certain rights. Each of you are giving up the right to hire a lawyer. Each of you are giving up the right to demand a trial by jury. Both of you are giving up the right to seek, in your case, I guess you're both suing, so you're giving up the right to seek in excess of $7,000. And I think I said, you can't hire a lawyer in here. You can't demand a trial by jury in here, and you can't appeal my decision. You don't have to give up those rights. If you want to be able to hire a lawyer, you want to be able to appeal my decision, or you want to be able to have a jury trial, all you have to do is tell me. I'll have the case removed to the general civil division, in which case I will still preside, but you can appeal my decision if you don't like it. You can hire a lawyer if you want to, and you can demand a trial by jury if you want to. You understand that, Mr. Kelly?
I do.
You understand that, Mr. Hall? Do you wish to waive those rights and proceed here, or have the case removed, Mr. Kelly?
I wish to proceed here.
Mr. Hall, you proceed here. You waive those rights. You waive those rights, Mr. Kelly, on behalf of the company.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask all of you to raise your right hands to solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God. Mr. Kelly,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hall, Ms. Smith, and Mr. Ragley. All right, tell me what happened, Mr. Hall.
Called Mr. Kerry's shop to get a swap. Take a 2008 police intercepted our performance car to his shop and get a motor swap. I got a block that I had built, the bottom of the block. Everything's brand new to me. I told him to take everything off my car that I just was driving and blew up at the Wilbur Cruise. For some reason overheated. So check the water pump, whatever may be the case. Take all this stuff off of this and put it on this new block that I just built. Instead, he took the whole motor that I brought him, smacked it in my car, swapped some heads and put it on me, tried to make it look good when I already had heads on this motor, heads on that motor. Why are you going to get some extra stuff and put it on there to make it look good and then try to give it back to me and tell me it didn't work?
What happened?
So what happened with Mr. Hall supplied us with a complete 2008 5.7 Hemi. A little background, Hemi 2003 to 2008 are all the same interchange years. It came in, motor had brand new cylinder heads on it. Motor looked really good. I'll give him that. Whoever he had built it looked fantastic on the outside. So he supplied us with an engine, complete engine with cylinder heads. It had a little tag on it, said that it needed an oil pan or oil pan gasket, valve cover gaskets, and then a thermostat. So that's what we replaced on for any oil pan gasket on it, valve cover gaskets, and thermostat in it. Removed his old engine. He also supplied us with a set of long tube headers and a 2009 and up Hemi intake manifold with adapter brackets that would adapt it to the older engine style. So we installed all that, and upon trying to start the car, it's pushing. I'm trying to put this in terms where a non-mechanic.
Yeah, please.
So as an engine cranks over, it produces what's called compression. And as this engine's trying to start, it's pushing compression into the cooling system without even running. So when we actually dissected Mr. Hall's old engine, we found the reason that it blew up was that it dropped what's called a valve seat, and it drops into the cylinder, it blows into pieces, and puts little pits in the pistons and locks the engine up. That's what was wrong with his old engine. There was absolutely nothing savable about his old engine. I still have his old engine.
The 2008.
2008, correct. So I still have his old engine that's blown up. The cylinder heads were damaged. The engine was damaged. There were no parts swapped out of what he gave me. The engine block and the ending that he gave me, the cylinder heads, everything he provided me is what we agreed to put into his vehicle, and that's what went into his vehicle. He provided me with a set of long tube headers. We had to do some fabrication work to the exhaust to get that actually lined up and go, fit in there how they should. No problem. We did a little bit of rust repair on the inner sections of the metal in the car where the catalytic converters were, and repaired that as well. And so upon firing the vehicle up, it just didn't want to run right. And then we did our preliminary examination of it. What I'm thinking is that whoever built the engine either built these engines are specific. You have to have the left side cylinder head and the right side cylinder head. And it goes with cylinder head gaskets as well. So based on what I've seen in the past and my many years of experience with doing this, somebody's either got two of the same size cylinder heads on it or two of the same size cylinder head gaskets on them. We do have a disclaimer in our sign-in sheet that I gave you. It says we're not responsible for all defective customer supply parts.
Slow down. Let me find it. Okay, go ahead.
It says that Copsy Performance and Repair is not responsible for any and all affected customer supplied parts, and any damage loss will definitely happen in their lot. If the customer supplied part is found to be defective, the customer is responsible for additional labor fees and installation of the plant. Well, Mr. Hall did sign the sheet. And as well as at the bottom, it does say by signing this, you are in agreement to the terms above in their entirety. So
how much did you charge him to perform the work?
We agreed on a flat rate of $5,000 to install this engine, as well as do the rust repair and a little other knick-knack stuff that needed, like the charge making exhaust fabrication and stuff like that for the headers.
And then you came out with $5,065.97.
Yeah, that was a little over the taxes, but I was going to round it down for $5,000 flat for him when he gave it.
Did he? And how much did he pay you?
Nothing. I have not received a dollar. On this return. He did ask me to check into the motor and say, hey, can you figure out what's wrong with it? And I conversed back and forth with him, and I said, I have no problem with that, but I want to square up on this bill before I dig any further in, because it seemed like it was going to have fluency for this work.
What are you going to tell me that he did wrong, Mr. Hall? And when I say that, I want you to understand something. Just listen to me. Listen. You're suing him for $7,000. You're not a certified mechanic, are you?
No, I'm not certified.
Wait, I'm just asking you, do you have a mechanic that looked at this and said they screwed up? They didn't do this right?
People say,
Yeah,
so now that we here, right, and he just admitted it. See, we agreed for him to swap the heads. If he wasn't gonna swap the heads, he should have said that. If the heads was bad or one was bad, he should have said that. Like, I didn't know the head at my house.
Sir, just stand back there. You gotta walk up.
We got the other head at my house. But he never called me and said, hey, Mr. Hall, these heads were bad, bro, or one of these were good. And I would say, hey, well, here's the other head we had when we was gonna take the ones off of that.
all right, just settle down.
And put it on there.
You're getting too angry.
Oh, we're gonna put it on there.
But you're pointing right by him.
You
Just
see what I'm saying? So he never informed me that, so he would never know that I got a brand new head. It was for that motor. But we decided to put them heads on there, and he agreed to put them heads on there. So that's when we know to this at. So now this head's just sitting in my house in a brand new bag in the basement.
where do you guys have in writing exactly what work was to be done?
We don't have in writing at all exactly what we're supposed to do. It was a verbal agreement between the two of us.
So if he would have just called and said, hey,
You understand what he's saying here? Why don't you call him?
I did call him. I called him several
Settle
times.
down.
Tried to explain to him exactly what was going on with it. And he, after I told him something was wrong with the engine, I told him several times to say, come up, let's take a look at it together. I'll show you what it's doing. He has not seen this vehicle, not came back to my shop since signing the sign-in sheet. That's it. He has not been back to Memphis. See this vehicle. I'm actually
Just settle down, you guys.
come back. I've called him and said, hey, come up and let's take a look at this. Let's look at it together. We'll get a game plan together. I want to show you what's going on. That way we know. And I can.
So you got the 2008 version still, right?
I do. It's on my trailer out back.
What did you take off that 2008?
So I took the cylinder head off of it because that motor was locked up solid. We couldn't. You're supposed to be able to rotate the engine over to get what's called torque converter bolts out, so you could separate the engine from the transmission without making a giant mess or damaging a component. And we could not get that to spin over. So I had to pull motor and transmission out of the vehicle together, separate everything on the floor, and get the torque converter separated. And like, man, why is this thing not coming apart? Why is it not spinning? And I pulled the valve covers off of it, I pulled the cylinder heads off of it, and immediately I go, okay, it's the common 03 to 08 pre-diesel Hemi valve seat drop. It dropped the valve seat. What it does is that piston comes up so close to the top deck and the cylinder head. When it drops that valve seat, the little pieces get melted into the piston, and it makes it to where the engine is locked.
What do you have to add to this, Mr. Radwin?
Pretty much just my technical background to assist by here. They're from 2005 to 2009. The Hemis are considered pre-eagle, and they are for.
They're considered what?
Pre-eagle engines.
Okay.
They are for dropping valve seats. It can happen at 20,000 miles. It can happen at 200,000 miles. With that being known, a lot of motors are rebuilt by people that aren't certified mechanics. I'm not sure where this all see this motor from that he brought to us. It could have been pieced together by anybody.
Where'd you get that at?
buddy of mine built the motor. We built.
Was he a certified mechanic?
That's why.
Wait, was he a certified mechanic? Who is it?
No, he's got the receipts for the motor he built and everything is in the motor with his name and everything on it. You'll like to see it.
Why don't you? Okay, you just hold on to that a second.
Can't actually say that he's a certified mechanic, but I don't know for sure. But I've been in the garage with him. He's built multiple race cars, and that's what he do for. How do you know? Oh, he's older, like old enough to be my grandpa. Oh, he knows stuff.
How old is he?
Talking about 80s, been 85.
Can you have him zoom in right now?
See if
Can you call him?
We can try his number.
Why don't you go ahead and call him? Go out in the hallway and call him, okay?
Well,
Just call him up and I tell him I'd like him to talk on the video here.
Chance I want to.
Yeah.
I'll do that, but I don't understand that because the whole basis is he was supposed to swap the heads. But if he realized the heads wasn't no good, he was supposed to call me and inform me before he just.
Do you guys have any desire to have this? Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Do you guys have any desire to have this guy zoom in or not?
Let's see, the only reason why I'm saying no is because I mean, I've got my certifications right here. I mean, my certifications speak for themselves. My reputation speaks for itself, and my work speaks for itself. In any other case here, other than this one, like I said, this photo came in and it looked fantastic. I mean, I'll give it to whoever he had put it together. It looked great. But he did tell me that this guy was in and out of the hospital, kind of got him. He said, I can't recall exactly what he said he was sick with. But I even had a conversation with him. I was like, hey man, maybe he mixed it up and accidentally did something. Because if you're sick, you walk away from something for months.
You might forget about what you did or didn't do.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, I have no problem digging into it, figuring out what happened. I said, but we did agree on, I put this motor in, I swapped some components over as far as what's going to be good and what's not, and get your headers on it.
And what's going on with the motor now? How does it operate now?
When you go to start it up, it doesn't really want to start. It's cranking over weird. It's got what's called a gallop. So it sounds like it's low on compression on a couple cylinders, which I at first contributed to. The motor's been sitting for a couple of years, he told me. So that maybe the piston rings haven't came out to the cylinder walls and sealed, so it'll make compression. So then we'll crank it over and finally got it running. And then it ran for 1 second. So the guard shut it off. And I went to pop the radiator or there's an overflow tank on the driver's side stroke tower. I went to pop it off and it shot hit the ceiling. I'm like, there's no.
You agree that you with his complaint that he says I wanted him to swap out all components?
No, I did not agree with that.
You never told him you were going to do that.
No, what I told him is, what he called me and said is, I got a 2008 motor. I'm going to make sure or a 2005 motor. I want to make sure it works with 2008. And that's when I informed him. I said, well, all of the pre-legal Hemis from 2003 to 2008 are identical. There's really not much you need to change other than depending if it's a truck motor or a car motor, you change the oil pan over so it clears the suspension components in the rack and pinion. You change the exhaust manifolds or headers from truck to car. And then the intake manifolds is a little different because on a truck, the throttle body faces straight up to the hood, car faces straight out to the headlights. I said, other than that, there's really no difference. I did end up putting a fresh set of valve cover gaskets on it, oil pan gasket on it, header gaskets on it for the headers bolt to the heads.
And you thought he would approve of this?
Correct.
Did you tell him this when you were doing it?
I did. I got into detail what I was going to do. I think where Mr. Hall is mistaking is he's mistaking head gaskets for valve cover gaskets and valve covers. Not to discredit Mr. Hall, but sometimes the stuff does get kind of confusing if you haven't, been in the life or messed with something like that very often. So the way our engine is designed, you have at least these Hemis. They're 12 packs, valve covers, valve cover gaskets, cylinder heads, the cylinder head gaskets, the engine block itself. Then you have 8 pistons, 8 rods, 1 crankshaft to run them, and then you have your timing cover, your rear cover, and your headers that bolt to it. And then obviously, your camshaft, your lifters, your valves, all that stuff. So,
were you still going to charge him the $5,000?
Well, that's where our sign-in sheet comes into play. We did agree on a $5,000 bill to.
Yeah, but you didn't have this working.
Sorry,
but it wasn't running.
Correct, but that's why I have this disclaimer in my stuff. We're not responsible for customer supplied parts. If you bring me a part that's bad, think of yourself as the shop owner. If you're working on something and it's a hard job, especially stuff like this was added labor, like pulling a motor and transmission together requires drive shaft removal, full exhaust system removal, transmission cross member removal, transmission line removal. We have been draining fluid out of the transmission to make sure you don't make a giant mess.
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
It's a giant mess.
You guys are gonna have to have a seat. I got too many people waiting. I want to take 5 minutes. I'll come back to you guys, okay? I need to get some of these other people out of here. But I'm going to take a 5-minute recess first, please. Everybody stay seated.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Recalling Hall versus Top Speed and Top Speed versus Hall. Sorry about this, guys.
Can I say something, Ron?
Not yet. I need everybody's name first.
Anthony Hall.
Amberson.
Bobby Kelly, I'm Captain Top Speed Performance.
John White.
Do you think if he'd have swapped every component off the 2008 Dodge onto the 2005, that this would be working? Yeah.
If he would have called me and said, These.
I didn't ask you
Okay,
that.
I asked the question is, say, he claimed the heads ain't no good now.
Wait a minute, just please listen. Here's what you say. I agreed to pay top speed performance and repair to swap every, underline every component of the 2008 Dodge Charger block motor onto the 2005 motor block. Owner agreed to swap all components to the 2005 motor, meaning the 2008 block should have been empty. Meaning heads, water pump, all accessory. Are you saying to me that you think that if he would have swapped every component off that 2008 onto the 2000, just listen, onto the 2005, that it would be working properly now?
Yes, I say, but he says.
Wait a minute. Why do you say that? You're not a certified mechanic. Who's telling me that?
I'm telling you that because.
All right, wait a second. How can you, hang on a second.
I'm going to explain to you right now. Can I say something, one thing real fast?
Yeah, but I want you to explain why you think that would be working properly.
Let me say this, right? Never been back to your shop to even look at this car. And I can come to court and basically tell you what's wrong with it. I got to know something. He just told us that the head is bad on the car. I have the extra head at my house. If he would have caught me and said, hey, these heads are bad, I can't swap these on here, I would say, hey, one of them heads on that motor we built, we think is bad. I got the extra one here. Put this on there, then put that in there. So, yes, it would have worked if he would have just did what I asked him instead of what he wanted to.
Your Honor, I didn't say the heads were bad. Like I said the motor was fantastic. I still stand by that. It looks great. It's just, I think whoever he had put this engine together, put two of the same side cylinder heads or two of the same side cylinder head gaskets on the engine. We did no disassembly of the engine he provided. He provided us a literal complete engine. It was ready to run after dropping on basic components that are not detrimental to the engine running properly or what's wrong with it. Valve cover gaskets cover the valve train, or valve covers cover the valve train, which is, the rocker arms, the push rods, all that, which actually, rocks up and down when the cam moves, and keeps oil from leaking out of the engine. The oil pan does the same thing. It houses 7 quarts of oil, and all we did was put an oil pan gasket on it. That's the little tag that he had with it stated that that's what we needed. I had conversations with him and said, I don't mind digging into this engine further, but all I want is the previous bill ironed out. I mean, I'm sure you can kind of see how difficult it is to have a simple, understanding conversation with him. In no matter of shape or form did I ever say here in this courtroom today that these cylinder heads are bad. I just said I simply think that he's got either 2 left or right side cylinder heads on this engine, or 2 of the same side head gaskets on this engine, meaning he's got a left side head on the left side head on the right, or a right side on the left and right side on the right. I never once said these cylinder heads are bad.
Okay. But if you would have took the heads off like you were supposed to, you put the other ones off the other motor, and you would have put all new seals, all new gaskets in here, you would have had to call Mr. Hall and say, hey, these heads ain't no good, or, you know what I'm saying? So what would we do?
Slow down a second.
Then that's when we would have came with the other head that you
Slow down a second.
gasket.
Slow down a second, Mr. Hall. I want to just ask a question.
So
So
you never assembled none of it. You just put it in.
That wasn't our agreement.
stop. I want everybody to stop right. You're telling me he agreed to swap every component off that 2008 onto the 2005,
Correct.
and you deny that?
I don't know. I do. Because the motor, he told me, he said, man, it's built, it's ready to go, it's got cam in it, it's got this, it's got that. And then I said, okay, well, we're gonna have to tune your engine's computer for that camshaft as well. And he says, well, no, the motor's already tuned. The motor's already tuned for that. I said, no, listen, these cars are electronically controlled. The engine's computer has to be, the parameters inside the computer have to be adjusted. So that told me at the beginning of that conversation, not to be rude to Mr. Hall, but his mechanical experience. Because every vehicle is an electronically controlled vehicle after 1996. After 1996, when they changed to OBD2, any model.
He never told you that.
He never told me what.
He wanted you to swap all components off the 2008 and
No, what he told me is that he wanted me to swap whatever components are needed to make the engine, worked in the 2008. He told me he's had other people tell him, oh, no, you can't do it. It won't work. I said, no, you might have to swap a camera or crank sensor in there from the 08.
And you maintain that even if you'd have done that, this engine would be in no better shape.
Correct. Because the old engine, the cylinder heads were garbage on the old engine. They dropped valve seats. If you don't mind, Your Honor, I can pull out my phone and I can show you what drop valve seat looks like in a Hemi and what it does to the piston. It absolutely destroys the cylinder wall in the engine, the piston, the cylinder head itself is garbage. And it just, they're dumb. There's no, I mean, you can send them out to a machine shop and spend more than they're worth to have them reconditioned, but you can pick up a good used cylinder head for $200 most of the time. But like I said, this engine looks fantastic. I mean, the engine was painted bright orange. Somebody did a really good job there. The cylinder heads were painted bright silver. Well, I mean, really, really good looking motor. And it was all assembled properly. The bush rods were in the correct place. When I took valve covers off, I did a valve tray inspection. Everything looked good.
And you still think you're entitled to $5,000?
Well, what I think I'm entitled to is what we agreed upon. So I did not build this engine. I did not do anything other than what Mr. Hall and I agreed to. We agreed to $5,000 of installing this engine. I agreed to do it for that price because he supplied his own engine, his own headers, his own intake manifold, everything. It is a lot of labor to remove that engine and transmission as an assembly because what has to happen is so his car is an old police cruiser and it's got the wrap around push bar on the front of it for the pit bar.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to remove engine and transmission out of this vehicle, you have to remove that push bar, the front bumper, the cooling pack, the radiator core support, and then what I do is I unbolt the motor mounts, I unbolt the exhaust, I take the entire exhaust from the engine to the back bumper down because this exhaust is straight pipe and it's all welded one piece from engine to tailpipes. So that's 9 feet of exhaust you gotta pull down. Drive shaft has to come out, and then transmission cross member, transmission lines have to come out, and then you pull the engine and transmission, which is about as long as I would say that engine and transmission is about 7 or 8 feet long.
All right. What do you have to say, Mr. Ragdale?
Ragland.
Pardon?
Ragland.
Ragland. I'm sorry. Ragland.
As Mr. Kelly stated, we were supposed to install the customer's parts that we weren't supposed to rebuild his engine. He says he bought the engine from a regular engine builder. He dropped the engine off to us, told us to replace the things on it that needed to make it work in his car. We weren't told to rebuild his engine. If he thinks that the guy he bought the engine from is a reputable engine builder, why would we rebuild it? We never said that we were going to rebuild it. And like Mr. Bobby stated also, his engine block itself was unusable. Once they drop a valve seat, those valves are metal. They get inside the motor, they scorch the cylinder wall, they scar them all up, they tear the pistons up, they tear the heads up. That means that we would have to literally rebuild his whole motor. And we weren't told, we never said that we were.
I got it. Ma'am, you wanted to read me something.
I just have the text message
Read it.
from when we first hit the car. It was February 20th.
Nice and loud.
2008 Dodge Charger transmission. No modifications to the motor fuel type. Service needed or requested. 2005 motor swap to 2008 body. Everything off the 08 motor onto the 05 motor flashed and tuned for it to run properly. JBL long tuned headers compared to headers on 08. Which ones are best? That was the original text message when the car was on the way to
What about that?
his office.
Well, when that's not everything on an engine block. So, and I'm trying to break this down again for non-mechanics. No offense, Judge.
Thank you.
Why would you take a good used built engine, or I'm gonna say new in his case because he had a set of new and built. Why would I take bad components out of a bad engine that he wants to replace and put them into an engine he's claiming is new and put it together? We're going to be in the same boat as when we drop the car off. We can put bad parts into a good engine. So why would I do that? Okay. And if you also, Your Honor, he said he's never seen Mr. Ragland here. He put on the back of that invoice I gave you, Mr. Ragland's mechanic number, and it is on the back of that.
I didn't say it wasn't a mechanic, but shop. I thought I'd never seen him in his office before. I said,
Well, I've got multiple employees that run it home long.
But anyway, like I was saying, and even didn't have this, you took them part off from the get-go, we wouldn't have asked.
Why you
Slap that motor in, because I'm paying you to do that.
Wait a minute, wait,
That's my money.
wait,
So
guys.
you do it.
Hey, guys,
That was my money.
wait, Mr. Hall. When I tell you to stop, I expect you to stop. Don't address him. I got news for you. If you convince him, you're right. But you don't convince me, you're going to lose. So address me, not him. You're getting angry.
Well, that's what my money.
But you kind of got an anger problem. I got to tell you.
I got it because I've been dealing with this for quite some time with him and his attitude and threatening me and all that. And I paid you to do a specific thing and you didn't do it. And he tried to shice me. And he act like, I don't know. I got some type of, he tried to play, I got no carbon canning specialist. I wouldn't just come with this out of my head. I never been that.
Sir.
I know from
Sir, you're angry. Settle down. Yes, sir. What do you want back that he still has?
gas in my car, everything in it, my parts, my two.
Wait, what do you, wait, slow down. You're just sounding angry.
He has my car. He has also the motor that's supposed to go in the car. He got all my extra parts. He got a whole nother motor with all the extra heads on it.
What do you think he's entitled to, Mr. Kelly?
At this moment, with non-payment, like it says at the bottom of my sign sheet here, it says we do not release vehicles until full OML payment is sold. But it's more of what I think I'm entitled to here. We plain and simple, we perform the work, we use customer supplied parts. It's not our responsibility that what I look at is that why should I be punished because he had a third party build this engine and he brought it to us to install and it's bad. We agreed on a price, we agreed on a service was provided, no payment's ever been given. I went back and forth. I told him multiple times over the phone, I feel like this is gonna be like pulling teeth, getting payment from you over this vehicle. I told him from the get-go, if you make this bill right, I will do my best to make sure this car runs properly. He's made no attempt to make this bill correct. I have no problem with any of my customers as long as they are willing to pay what we agree upon. No issues. I mean, I've donated vehicles to cars. I've donated cars to people that I don't even know that were in car accidents on Facebook and I've just seen it. I'm that type of person. But it's just when I do a service and we agree on something, that's how it should be. I mean, I guess in 2026, that's kind of hard to come by.
How much did he pay for the counterclaim, Jennifer?
For the filing fee, there's no
Yeah.
filing fee for a counterclaim. He would have just paid
Yeah.
for service.
Thank you. That's what I was guessing. Anything else?
Felt like we wouldn't be in this situation if he would have called me and said, hey, these heads on this cop motor ain't no good. I can't do this. And then I would have explained to him that we left the heads on here intentionally to make sure he put them heads on it because we think these heads are better. But now since you say this motor's locked up and they're no good, here's this head that goes with this motor. It's gonna make it run properly.
That's all. Your Honor, may I ask Mr. Hall a direct question?
Sure.
Mr. Hall, how many cylinder heads did you have in the brand?
I got one.
Yeah, how many?
One left beside you said it just said on.
Well, no,
You said it might be that. Got that one right here.
Okay,
Back.
so
They
this engine requires
just called me.
This engine requires 2 cylinders.
You said on the ones that.
No, I didn't say any of them were bad.
I might you said the gasket. So
No,
the 2 wasn't off. I didn't do gasket.
didn't say that.
Usually the gasket wouldn't be bad either.
Mr. Hall?
Now, Your Honor, may I ask you, but have I ever said in this conversation
No.
with you all was that these components were bad?
No.
So this is the kind of difficulty I had communicating with Mr. Hall over the phone.
Mr. Hall,
Said it might be possibly backwards for the gas.
I don't believe that he agreed to swap out all the components. Let's start with that. And you haven't proven to me that even if he did that, that this would be working any better than it is now. He's got all these things in writing. You didn't have anything in writing. He worked on this. I'm going to cut it down to $4,000 on the counterclaim. no cause of action on your claim. I tend to agree with him. Sir, please let me finish. He seems very, very, very knowledgeable to me. You're not a mechanic. I don't know a lot about cars. I would call it one of my deficiencies, to be truthful with you. But I've listened to him enough to believe that I'm making the right decision here. And that's what I'm doing. I'm ordering no cause of action on your claim, 4,000 on the counterclaim. I'm not going to expect you to. None of this has to do with storage fees, right?
No, I just did the 7,000 as a count on his 7,000, but I will offer this as well. If Mr. Hall wants to have a little conversation, I want to see everybody in the car having fun.
So you guys can sit down and act.
I don't have a problem with that.
Maybe you guys can sit down. Mr. Hall, please do me a favor, sir.
Right.
You need to work on your anger.
Telling me if he fixed the car, I would pay him. I already knew it was the cylinder head because I
Listen,
did the extra one.
I'm not gonna. Guys, Mr. Hall, you're too angry. I'm telling you, I don't know if this is typical for you. I sure hope it isn't. You just seem very, very, very angry.
I feel like,
Sir,
can I say,
sir, no, you can't say another word. I hope you guys talk. I'm entering this judgment. And that's what I'm doing. And you guys can figure it out. No cause of action on plaintiff's complaint. Hang on. Counter plaintiff prevails on counterclaim for $4,000. Yeah, you can have your car back, but you're gonna have to pay him. You're gonna have to pay him the $4,000.
parts and everything to go with it, right?
Absolutely. I have no interest in the parts. Absolutely.
Once paid, well, I'll even write that on here. Once paid, plaintiff entitled to car and all components, all parts. Does that cover it?
Yeah, can we get specific with those parts as well? His engine block, with, his damaged engine block. I do have, it has one cylinder head that is still bolted to it, I believe.
I'm writing down damaged engine block. What else?
2 cylinder heads.
2 cylinder heads.
His 2009 plus intake manifold with adapter brackets.
Hang on a second. 2009 what?
That should be all.
Hang on. Please.
That's right.
Go ahead. Hang on. Guys, I'm getting impatient with you now. Stop. I don't want you interrupting me. 2009 what?
Intake manifold with adapter brackets.
Okay, go ahead.
As well as his old 2003 to 2008 intake manifold that has
Old.
valve seat in it.
Old 2003 to 2008 manifold? Intake manifold. That has what?
That has intake manifold. It's got valve seat pieces in it. Oh, it's junk. Everything you said.
Does that cover everything?
That does cover everything.
Good. That's what I'm gonna write. No cause of action on plaintiff's complaint. Plaintiff prevails on counterclaim for $4,000 once paid. Plaintiff entitled to car and all parts. Parents damage engine block, 2 cylinder heads, 2009 intake manifold with adapter bracket, old 2003 to 8 intake manifold.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Good enough. Go down the hall, get the judgment. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to hand you back your documents here, sir.
Oh,
I don't think we gave me any, Mr. Hall. Good luck to all of you.
2025 DR 1700, State of Kansas versus Catherine Lynn Mann. Please announce appearances.
Jerry here on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson, appear on behalf of Catherine Mann. Ms. Mann does appear via Zoom audio visual. Ms. Mann, can you turn on your video and your audio, please? Catherine Mann, can you turn on your video and audio, please? Catherine Mann, can you hear me? There we are. Please unmute yourself. Perfect, thank you. Judge, this is a case where after being appointed, I've been working with my client to work on her driving record. And what I had not looked into as quickly as I should have is having her apply for diversion. So would ask the court for continuance so that she can quickly apply for diversion.
I will say though, I do have my
Hold on, Ms. Mann.
the driver's license.
I'm sorry, why are you asking for this continuance? I was reading some notes. So it's half a,
Judge, I was working the case one way. After discussing a little bit more detail with her today, it was determined that she should have applied for a diversion. I haven't sent her the diversion link yet for that purpose, so I was going to send it to her and she was going to take care of that this week.
and the state's response.
Your Honor, the state will defer to the court as to how it wishes to proceed. The state's information is that the prospective possibility of diversion was discussed when the defendant appeared in a pro se fashion back in October of 2025. If the court does continue this matter out yet again, that we will have apparently passed the 1-year anniversary of this case, as the original ticket alleges a stop occurring in July of 2025, and we are now in June of 2026.
And we acknowledge that when she was pro se, that came up. That's how I found out about that discussion today. We've talked with her, but I had not talked with her about it after being appointed. And I had never sent her the link to apply. And that's what her and I discussed today.
Well, I show in Odyssey BU 2025 TR 1700, the case we're here on now, driving while suspended off in state July 7 of 25. Underneath that, I show EL, and I don't know if that's City of El Dorado, if that's Ellsworth County, but it shows driving while suspended off in state July 4th of 25, which would be 3 days prior to ours. And I don't see plea or disposition on either one of these, so they're apparently both pending. And it looks like she's called the clerk a couple of times and been incredibly rude, telling the clerks they need to learn to do their job. This was March 9th of 26. She started to record the conversation with the clerk. The clerk tried to explain to her that she needed to submit her driver's license to the CA's office because the clerk's office didn't have the authority to dismiss charges. She thought that the clerk should dismiss the charge because she had a driver's license. She said that the judge told her to call the county clerk's office and we need to, quote, just do our jobs. And how hard was that, end quote. She told the clerk that she was being, quote, snotty and to just give her the number to the county attorney, which she was given. But she was also told to reach out to her own attorney as well. She said she needed to get this expletive taken care of before her court date on March 10th and March 16th. The clerk told her she could see the court date of March 16th, but not on March 10th, at which time the defendant responded, quote, duh, the 10th isn't your court. And then she hung up on the clerk. She also had called earlier that day saying she needed to be able to provide her documents to the judge, and the clerk had told her to just contact her attorney for help. The clerk reported she was not nice and was starting to become belligerent and was told multiple times Nowhere does it say that she was to submit her driver's license and it would be dismissed. She thought that that's what the judge was going to do. Continued to be rude and hateful. So she was transferred to the supervisor, and it was the supervisor's note that I just read earlier. She had called December 26, 25, wanting her court date pushed back. She was told that since the defendant had an attorney appointed, she would need to speak with her attorney, and the attorney would file the necessary documents to move her court date. So Miss Mann needs to learn to treat people in authority, such as the clerks, with decency and respect. They are an extension of the court, in this court's opinion. Speaking to the clerk like that is like speaking to the court like that. I don't know, of course, if she'll be a diversion candidate. Well, she's got charges pending in 2 separate counties, but that's not my decision. That's the county attorney's. And this has been going since at least October of 25. All right, I will continue this at the defendant's request to August 24th. She must be back here at 8 a.m. Continued at the defendant's request to August 24th at 8 a.m. I'm going to order that she not contact the clerk anymore. She not disrespect the clerk anymore. That she can go to her attorney, and don't be disrespecting your attorney either, Miss Mann. I will continue the $3,000 personal recognizance bond you posted October 15th of 2025 with those conditions that I just gave you. Anything further from either party?
Judge, I would request a brief breakout room with Miss Mann following this court finishing its hearing.
All right, this court is in recess. Miss Mann, prepare to go into a breakout room and talk privately with your attorney. Look for an invitation on your screen and click on that. Mr. Patterson, I think we're ready for Resendez. Does that look right? If we keep going alphabetically?
I'm sorry, which case, Judge?
Looks like Eleazar Resendez.
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready on that case.
All right, we are on the record in BU 2025 TR 2235, State of Kansas versus Eleazar Resendez. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appearing on behalf of Eleazar Resendez, who does appear personally via Zoom audio-visual. Your Honor, this is a case where Mr. Resendez has been accepted on diversion. He just needs to read and sign it. So would ask court to allow him to continue to finish that process.
State's response.
Your Honor, it does appear that a diversion application has been received by my office as of approximately 1 week prior. As to whether or not the defendant has indeed been accepted on the same, I do not have any notes to that. However, the state has no objection to resetting this matter over under these circumstances.
All right, Mr. Resendez, are you still with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Look like you're about to fall asleep. I understand. All right.
Up for dialysis. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Okay, so I'm going to continue this at your request so you can finish your diversion. I'm going to call this case again August 14th at 9 a.m. And if you're not fully diverted with a contract on file, you need to be back here August 14th at 8 a.m. or as Mr. Patterson tells you. So keep working with Mr. Patterson so you can get this case wrapped up, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm going to continue that $1,000 personal recognizance bond that you filed December 31st, 25, with the condition that you either be fully diverted or be back here August 14th at 9 a.m.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. You may go.
Judge,
Hold on, Mr. Resendez. Yes, Deputy?
You said August 14th?
I did. I even wrote it down, but is it, Clerk, is it August 14th or July 14th we need him back?
Your Honor, it's August 24th.
August 24th. Good thing you asked. All right, Mr. Resendez, are you still with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Forget what I said. You have to be back here August 24th at 8 o'clock if you're not fully diverted.
Okay.
August 24th. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy. You're welcome. You may go, sir. Thank you, Deputy. Appreciate you're always catching things like that. All right, and now we are ready for, who's next? Romans, Robert Romans. I think I saw you on there a while ago. There you are. We are on the record in BU 2025 TR 2091, State of Kansas versus Robert Wayne Romans. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson, appear on behalf of Robert Romans. Mr. Romans does appear personally via Zoom audio visual. Judge, this is a case where we have had discussions concerning plea negotiations, have provided an updated driver's license status showing my client's valid. The request by the state is that they would like to see that he remains valid for a period longer before they would enter into negotiations we're requesting. So we'd ask court to allow it to be continued to August 24. That should be sufficient time for the state to see that he continues to be valid.
Mr. Regier, state's response.
Your Honor, if the court is prepared to find that this is a defense request for continuance, I believe counsel for the defense has adequately summarized plea negotiations thus far in this matter.
This matter will be continued at the defendant's request. Mr. Romans, I will continue that $2,500 personal recognizance bond that you posted December 10th to 2025, adding the condition that you reappear August 24th at 8 a.m. unless your attorney tells you otherwise.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may go at this time, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, Mr. Standifer, it's your turn. William Standifer, start your audio and video. You're talking on a telephone, run your finger down there you go.
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
Oh, you're good. You're not in a moving automobile, are you?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
That vehicle you're in isn't moving, is it?
No. I had my charger because I was on the phone for so long. I'm stationary. My door's open. I'm stationary.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be on the record now in 4 related cases: BU 2025 TR 1257, BU 2025 TR 1747, BU 2025 TR 2018. Thought you had 4. I guess it's 3. Each of these 3 cases, State of Kansas versus William Dean Standifer II. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of William Standifer. Mr. Standifer does appear personally via Zoom audio visual. Court had me a little bit worried there. I only saw 3 cases, which is enough.
Yeah.
I have started working on plea negotiations with the state. We have provided further information to Mr. Regier. Mr. Regier has requested additional time to review what we have provided in order to come up with a global plea bargain on all the cases. So the defense would request a continuance to August 24th at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, Clerk Michelle, we still have time on the 24th. I've been putting a ton of them on there today.
Let me just check the calendar really quick.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, we're fine.
Okay, Mr. Standifer, you're ordered to reappear August 24th at 8 a.m. unless your attorney gives you a different time. And I will continue the bonds you posted with the added conditions that you do appear as directed by your attorney. So if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess at this time. You may go, Mr. Standifer.
Your Honor.
Oh, hold on
Sorry.
just a moment.
Yes, sir. Yes.
For the record, is this a defense request for continuance, Your Honor?
It is so noted in all three cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Now, Mr. Standifer, you were saying?
Oh, I was just going to say thank you, Your Honor, and thank you for the attorneys as well.
All right. Well, on behalf of all of us, you are welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Well, now I have an Ethan Tyson on the record in 2025 TR 2477, State of Kansas versus Ethan M. Tyson. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Ethan Tyson. Mr. Tyson does appear via Zoom audio visual. I would first of all ask Mr. Regier, is what's requested acceptable?
Your Honor, the state is prepared to proceed in this matter.
Your Honor, based upon that, I would announce at this time, the state has agreed to amend the sole charge to that of 8-235, no valid driver's license. My client would be entering a plea of guilty to that amended charge.
Mr. Tyson or Mr. Regier, do you so amend that?
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, subject to a successful guilty plea, the state would so amend to 8-235, no valid driver's license, a Class B misdemeanor.
So, Mr. Tyson, how do you wish to plead to the amended charge that alleges that on or about the 12th day of September 2025 in Butler County, Kansas, you did operate a motor vehicle upon a highway of the state while you did not have a valid license to do so?
And Judge, I apologize. Before my client answers that, I would ask for a brief breakout room. I just need to explain one thing to him.
All right, Michelle, could you please put Mr. Ethan Tyson and Darren Patterson in a breakout room?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And Judge, we are ready to proceed with that plea to the amended charge of no valid driver's license.
Mr. Regier, you do so amend.
Subject to a successful guilty plea, Your Honor, the state would so amend.
Mr. Tyson, how do you plead to the amended charge of driving in Butler County, Kansas on September 12th of 25 without a valid license?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
By pleading guilty, are you admitting that you did do the offense alleged?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is anyone making you enter this plea today by any threats or promises other than the plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
You understand that with this plea, you are giving up your right to a trial. You will be found guilty and unable to appeal your conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the officer says you were doing this driving on US Highway 54 around mile marker 23. Would you agree with that?
I'm not exactly sure where mile marker 23 is, but I would agree to that, Your Honor.
That you had maybe turned off of Santa Fe Lake Road, is that right?
That's a negative.
Okay, well.
And
why
Your
did
Honor,
you-
if I may, very briefly.
Yes, if you would, please.
Your Honor, on the limited issue of jurisdiction for purposes of timely resolution of this case, where the case proceed to trial, the state's evidence would show that a stop occurred on September 12, 2025, involving a 1996 Yamaha, where the defendant was determined to be the operator of the same motor vehicle. The ticket lists the stop occurring on 54 at milepost 232. State's information is that is between Augusta and Andover city limits, well within Butler County boundaries, and the state's evidence would show the same where the court proceed to trial, thereby giving the court jurisdiction over this matter.
Thank you, Counselor. Mr. Tyson, does that sound familiar to you?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I just didn't recognize Santa Fe Lake Road.
Well, and I may have told you wrong from what I was remembering of the citation. All right, so I will accept your plea and find you guilty at this time. And recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor. Pursuant to plea negotiations, the state is recommending a $200 fine, that the court impose appropriate court costs, and a suspended jail sentence of 120 days, subject to a 6-month non-reporting probation. The state's information is that court-appointed attorney fees would not be appropriate in this matter, and so the state does not make a recommendation on that point.
Mr. Patterson, does that mean you're retained in this
I am
case?
retained in this case, Judge. Would ask the court to adopt the recommendations. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tyson, at this time, your fine is $200. Your court costs are $108, so you owe $308. Your jail sentence is 120 days. I will suspend that. You won't have to serve that as long as you successfully complete a 6-month non-reporting probation. You're going to be on probation for 6 months, but you don't have to see a probation officer. But if you don't want that probation revoked and you don't want to serve the 120 days, make sure you comply with your probation. Condition 1, violate no laws for 6 months. Condition 2, pay the $308. And how much time do you need to pay that?
90 days, Your Honor.
90 days to pay. So as long as you pay that within 90 days to the clerk of the district court, and you violate no laws within 6 months, you will not have to serve your jail time. If there's nothing further, counsel?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Judge.
All right. Mr. Tyson, you are excused from today's hearings. You may go at this time.
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you for yours. We will now be on the record in Yoder, 2026 TR 570, State of Kansas versus Amber Lucille Yoder. Please announce appearances.
Jared McGear on behalf of the state.
Your Honor, Darren Patterson appear on behalf of Amber Yoder. Ms. Yoder does appear via Zoom audio visual. This case where I've not had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Yoder at this point, so I'd be asking for continuance. But in doing that, I also make inquiry of Mr. Regier of whether he believes the special sentencing requirements of KSA 285 apply to this case.
Your Honor, may I briefly request a 5-minute recess, at which time I believe I will be in a position to advise the court appropriately.
Very well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, in response to the apparent inquiry on the record, although I have not had the full opportunity to review the matter in depth based off of the limited time, based off of a cursory review, there does appear to be a strong possibility that the elevated sentence under KSA 8287 applies, presuming that that is what counsel is referring to as count 1 of the information appears to be charged as driving while habitual violator under KSA 8285 and 8287.
Mr. Patterson, any announcements?
Judge, I just needed to make sure I knew the state's position on that. I do need to talk to my client though, but ask court to allow continuance of this so I can discuss with her these important sentencing issues. As well as ask the court to allow me to set a specific date and time for her to discuss it with me before she leaves the meeting today.
All right, this will be continued at the defendant's request to August 24th. At 8 a.m. by Zoom with counsel. And she will be continued on her $1,500 bond with the condition that she reappear August 24th at 8 a.m. and that she keep an appointment with you. Mr. Patterson, you want to set that right now?
Yes, Amber, do you have a pen?
No, but I can put a note in my phone.
Okay, put the note in your phone then for you to call my office to discuss your case this Thursday, June 4 at 9 a.m.
Thursday, June 4th, 9 a.m. And what's the phone number?
316 7700.
So just to make sure, I need to call your office Thursday, June 4th at 9 a.m. and it's 316-322-7700.
Correct. Thank you.
Don't call
And Your
Darren
Honor?
Patterson,
Okay.
you crazy people.
Yes, Mr.
Don't do it.
Revere.
The state would respectfully inquire if the court wishes to make it a continuing order of the court that this defendant appear in
Unless you
person
need
for
it,
all
he's a really
future
good lawyer.
proceedings. The state's information is that the defendant was previously sentenced before this court in Butler County 23 TR 2477 back in April of 2024, where the defendant appeared late at that setting based off the state's information. More recently, it would appear that this is a defendant who had previously appeared before District Judge Satterfield on a request for revocation in 23 CR 254 in approximately 3 months prior in March of this year. State's information is that initially the court found the defendant failed to appear, but appeared subsequently that same day.
Ms. Yoder, why have you had trouble getting to court on time?
I live in Hayesville and I depend on everybody for a ride, except for that one day my ride fell through. So that's why I ended up getting arrested that day because I had to drive to court. But I have to depend on everyone for rides, and I live an hour away from El Dorado, so it's I'm at everybody else's mercy. And I try to get there on time the best I can. I can't force people to be at my house, unfortunately, even though I'm paying them to get me there. So that's kind of that's my situation.
Well, you've except when you're ordered to come to court personally because you've missed too many times by Zoom, you are allowed to appear by Zoom. So
I didn't. I thought I had to appear in person every time. I didn't know those times that I was able to appear by Zoom. I wasn't aware of that at the time.
Well, once you start missing court, then they do make you come to court in person. But
yeah, I had some issues for a while, but ever since then, I've gone to all my court dates. The only time I missed is I was in the parking lot and they wouldn't let me in the building because I had a fever. So that's the only one I have missed recently. I have gotten my life together. I've had some issues in the past. I fully admit that, but I'm trying to get my life in the right direction.
And Your Honor?
Mr. Ruggiero?
For what it's worth, apart from this matter currently before the court, the state's information is that the defendant has failed to appear for court at least 12 times in the past, most recently in November of 2023.
And your request, Mr. Patterson, or Mr. Ruggiero again, is for her to
That the
appear.
defendant be ordered to appear in person for all future proceedings as a condition of bond, Your Honor.
And Judge, I understand this request by the state. I'm also cognizant of my client's situation that she's declared habitual violator. That can cause difficulty on getting to court. Having her appear at all seems more productive than this issue of having to drive illegally. I don't suggest you do that, never have, never want her to, but it does present problems with people, so I would ask the court to consider allowing her to appear by video.
Where'd you say you live?
Hayesville.
Leesville, South Wichita, right?
Yes. I live out closer to Mulvane. I'm in county.
Well, Mr. Regier is certainly within his rights and to recommend what he does. When you miss as many dates as you do, it becomes an issue.
I understand, Your Honor, and I'm not saying I've been perfect by any means, and I'm not justifying missing any of the court dates because I was absolutely wrong in that aspect. But since I've left my ex-husband and since I had a son, he's a year and a half old. I've been trying to get my life together, and that's where I'm at. So I won't miss another court date.
Well, your attorney, well, Mr. Regier made a good argument for the state's position. Mr. Patterson made a good argument for your position. I'm going to give you one more time. I'm going to let you appear by Zoom, but if you have one more absence, you're going to have to come in person.
Yes, ma'am.
When you have Zoom, there's just no excuse for you not to be here.
And I've been on since 8 a.m. this morning. So,
all right, yeah, so have I. So,
yeah.
I know Mr. Patterson has this. I may have come in a little later, but anyway, I did come in later. But in any event, you must be here at the time designated. And if you have any more trouble, I'm going to go with the state's recommendation and make you appear in person.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You may go, Miss Yoder.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, counsel, I think that's everything on the docket.
It would appear so, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, everyone, and we will be adjourned at this time.
Thank you, Jim. Have a good day.
Thank you.
What do you mean, here? The mic's hot. Hold on. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you what the mic looks like when it's hot. Let me ask you something. You think I don't know when it's hot? It's hot now. Now it's hot. Yeah, I was talking over the video. Okay, Mike. Sorry. Sorry. I appreciate you here. Appreciate you, Julie. Appreciate y'all of you. I especially appreciate Marty and Lanny. Lanny. Thank you all so much for those kind jewels. What fun stuff. Guys, it's been a case of the Mondays all day. Not just in your house, not just in my house, not just next door, but in court too. And that's just a taste of what happened. Thank you very much, Night Animal TV. I do appreciate you. Celia, good to see you. I need to probably roll these credits, ladies and gentlemen. We do it this time tonight. Rhonda, Ann, thank you so very much. Julie, Kieran, Mama. Hey, I don't know why my name's there. Bat Boy is back. Math Girl, Marty, you all rock. All of you do. I think those were like the top chatters. And all these others are like amazing workers, amazing chatters in their own. Chat with all these people. What's the problem? Everybody's awesome. Like awesome. All right, guys. Sorry, I was talking over the video a little bit there. I was complaining because they put that phone number from Mr. Patterson up there. They had the little text was along the bottom of the screen. So even if I muted it out, oh my God, Terry Bosworth here. I got to give that a big old heart. Thank you so much. Holy moly. You know, this channel operates entirely on the generous contribution of viewers like you. Right. Anyway, yeah, I was going to mute the whole Patterson phone number thing. I didn't get the phone up the screen. It was like useless. So I'm just like, hey, don't call Patterson unless you actually have a reason to call Mr. Patterson, because he's a very good lawyer. And if you need a good lawyer in Kansas, especially most specifically in Kansas, check in with Darren Patterson. He might be taking clients. I don't know. Tell him Lone Wolf. He probably won't know who the heck I am, but it'll be funny anyway. If not him, maybe Mr. Watt. Watt. I love both of them. They're awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you who else is awesome. I'm looking right at them in the screen on the chat. Chat's right over there. I did it all in the right direction. That's awesome. I am your Lone Wolf Foostle. I'm the guy who puts these little videos together. I'm the crazy guy who puts this whole channel together with all these archives. It's been a long night. Serious Case of the Mondays. And I am done. I am out. Thank you all so very much. Come by tomorrow. Any more then. Not the end. Not the beginning of the end. The end of the beginning. Something like that. You know, I have that impeccable timing. You know, it's you don't get timing like that with other less professional loudmouths on the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm not redirecting anywhere tonight. It's one and done. We're done. We're done here. I don't even know why you're still here. Go. Get out. Go watch a good movie. TV show. Something. Come back tomorrow around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll have a lot more then. Bye. Killer. Killer. Killer.